Just to wrap, here's my two biggest frustrations. One is the amount of federal money in state programs. You try to reform something, you try to go into Medicaid, and you say, okay, we're going to put a drug test restriction on it. If you're taking other people's money, I at least want to know that you're not on drugs. The people at our factory that come up to me, and the number one thing they tell me is, how come I have to come to work every day, and I get my paycheck, and you all send me out for a random drug test, and I never know when it's going to happen. But somebody else gets the money out of my paycheck, and they don't have to be tested at all. And they didn't even work for that money. I'm like, I'm with you 100%. So, but when you do that, then the federal government says, oh, well, if you try to put that stipulation on, we're going to yank your chain and pull some of the funding back. You know, the problem is, we were started as a union of states, right? We've heard this term. And now we've become a federal empire. So we've gone from a union to an empire. And that's really disturbing to me because I don't think it works. You probably noticed that. Here's good news. One thing I have learned, people say, well, what's going to make the difference? You know, it's the money, it's the lobbyists. What is it? It's not either. It's not any of those. It's we the people. If the people put pressure on the reps, I have seen reps tell me something one day, and the next week we're back over there, and they've changed their tune. And I'm like, well, I wonder what's going on. I know it wasn't my brilliant line of reasoning that changed their mind. It turns out that their district starts putting a little pressure on them. Ultimately, it doesn't matter how much money you raise or how much pressure lobbyists put on you. The people who show up and have to punch the ballot for you to be in or not in is what still matters the most to these folks. So it's still in our hands. It's all still in our hands. I've seen people change and change quickly. So as much as I'm concerned about how things are going on, I still have great hope, but we have to change, I guess, how we're doing things inside the family and how we're educating our kids, how we're educating our neighbors, how you're educating your grandkids. All of that makes a huge difference. So just to close, this is my first official announcement. I am running for another term. I'm allowed to, so I am going to be running again. So November is your issues, 1, 2, and 3, and then in March there'll be another primary. And please check that name if you like what you hear. If you don't like what you hear, throw the bum out. So with that said, I'll shut up and take any questions on whatever you got.